Championship, and this one looks like being just about the biggest English battle since that little dust-up between the Roundheads and the Cavaliers, because we have 4 of the 5 Englishmen competing, all looking for a place in the World Final, of course, in Katowice, and of course looking for this Intercontinental title, including there on the grid in the blue and white helmets, the pair that brought the World Pairs title back to England. That's Malcolm Simmons in grid 2, John Louis in grid 3. Louis, the slight favourite to win this meeting in grid 3, in tremendous form. But let's have a look from the inside. Doug Wire from Sheffield and England. The British Lion Tour is very successful. Next to him, Simmons. Then Louis, and on the outside, another British Lion, Chris Morton. Heat number 2, the battle of the Englishmen in a very, very level start. Simmons got a lock on the inside. Wire took them all very wide. Simmons is locked back. What a first corner. Louis is last. Tremendous drama in Heat 2. Wire took them all, and it's Simmons who leads. In second place, it's Wire. In third place, it is Morton. And at the back, it's John Louis. Louis, the man who guided England to that sensational win in Sweden in the pairs. And they're really beginning to bundle up and jumble up. Simmons leads it. Second place, Wire. Third place, Morton. Louis coming way, way under him there on this bottom corner. Morton chops across. They're all lions together, but there's not very much love lost in this race, my word. Malcolm Simmons, of course, the reigning British champion. He won the British title in Coventry, and Morton's come through on the inside of Wire into second place on lap 3. Tremendous Heat 2. Morton in second place to shut back from Melbourne, Manchester. And now it looks like Louis is coming under as well. Simmons a long way in front. Louis is going under Wire. No, he isn't. He's chopped him to pieces. What 4 laps of Speedway. Whoa, the temperature goes up even higher than the 90 degrees it was originally here at Empire Stadium. Simmons wins it. Second place, Morton. Third, Wire. Last, repeat, last, John Louis, the form anti-post favourite to win this title. And Barry Briggs, that was some start and some first corner.
We see the start of this race, the important race for all the English boys. We've got Wire right on the inside of the track, and you can see he moves off. Malcolm Simmons made a slightly better start right next to him. He's now given him a good bang. He's come back straight into the first corner. He's taken Louis straight past the corner. You can see Simmons, number 7, turning back. He gets out of trouble, and he's got the run on Wire down the back straight to get himself clear. But Doug Wire certainly caused some trouble in that first corner.
So we're coming into heat number 3 of what has already been quite a startling Intercontinental Final of the World Championship. This time we've got an American, we've got an Englishman, we've got a New Zealander, and we have got an Australian. Truly the best of the West here at Wembley on this Super June evening. On the inside we've got Scott Autry, the lone Yank in this title. There we've got Ivan Major in the white helmet with those distinctive checkered green and white leathers, if you've got it in colour. The galloping Major, of course, who knows Wembley so very, very well indeed. 4 times world title winner. He's won the title here a couple of times, so I can recollect. Great campaigner. Maybe a little bit off the ball this year. Well, we'll see in just a moment or two. There's Ivan Major, number 9. He's the man to watch for. And, of course, he has some pretty stuck-up opposition in heat number 3. On the inside, Autry. Next to him, Peter Collins, former European title holder, won the title here. Then Major in 3. And on the outside, the former Australian champion, Johnny Bolger of Australia. So a very interesting-looking heat number 3. So the best of the West definitely in heat 3. On the inside, Americans, Scott Autry. Next to him, Peter Collins. There's Peter there in blue. In grid 3, Ivan Major. And on the outside, Johnny Bolger. Who's going to make the vital jump in heat 2? And it is Major. And from the inside, Autry, and Collins is last. Collins is last from England. On the outside, Bolger, in fact, of Australia, got through that big bundle up to the first corner. Bolger leads. In second place, Autry. In third place, Major. And at the back there, Peter Collins. Well, another surprise here. Johnny Bolger from Australia, not too highly fancied before the pace went up. Really cutting out all the pace here at Empire Stadium. Scott Autry is in second place from America, and it's a very emotional thing for Scott because he first became interested in European Speedway coming to this very stadium 3 or 4 years ago to watch the World Final. And he was so impressed with Speedway here, and Collins and Major getting into a terrific tangle on this pit corner on lap 3. Last lap, Bolger leads. Second place, Autry, and Collins has gone around the outside. No, he hasn't. Major's shut the gate. The battle's for third place. Every point vital here. And Peter Collins place all three. Third place Major, last Collins. So the lads are settling down for heat number 4 with this all-Scandinavian battle of the inside Bent Janssen from Sweden and the Reading racers. Next to him, the veteran figure of Soren Schosten, 6 world finals, twice finished third in 69 and 74. That's Soren Schosten in grid 2. Anders Michenek won the title in 74, second last year. And on the outside, Ollie Olsen, the holder of the world title, and also won it in 1971. Heat number 4, Janssen, Schosten, Michenek, Olsen, Viking Warfare. Let's see who makes this jump, because in the last race it was the outside grids that really were like grease lightning. Heat 4. And there's terrible, terrible trouble. Well, the tapes were definitely broken. The tapes were definitely broken, and the regulations insist that if the tapes are broken, then somebody is responsible. And Gunther Sorber, the West German referee now, that's a very delicate decision to make. Barry Briggs.
Yes, and we just see, I think it's Ollie just touches the tape on the outside, and he wasn't the one that broke them. Schoisten on number 2, but I'd put Olsen down as the cause of the stoppage, but I don't know. I think the steward is 2 at fault, and it'd be very difficult to say who he's going to do.
So the rerun of heat 4, and again we've got trouble, and this time it's Michenek. The rerun, well, they are very jumpy. Heat 4, Janssen, Schosten, Michenek, Olsen. That's from right to left from the inside. This is the rerun, and they're away this time. What a start! They're going to stop him. Hey! 300 road day at Wembley. What a colossal start. Very, very interesting to see that one again. Barry Briggs, whatever happened there?
And here we see the start. Olsen on the outside. He moves first. He crowds Michenek, but Michenek's having none of it. He gets straight into Olsen. Well, Olsen's on one wheel. He gets shanghaied straight into Schoisten. Down on the inside man. Michenek's had to pull out of it, and it's a terrible tangle. Nobody's giving an inch here in the first corners, and they're rerunning it once again.
Well, we have got an exclusion, and it's the rider in yellow and black, and that's Ollie Olsen has been excluded. The exclusion light goes on. Olsen goes back into the pits. Barry Briggs, well, Ollie looked to be the cause of the trouble there. Is an exclusion fair in your opinion?
It's reasonably harsh. I think that he missed off the first one. He pulled really tight on Michenek then, but I think it was 6 or 1 and half a dozen the other. Very hard decision by the steward, but I think it was not a brilliant decision.
3 starters only for the restart of heat number 4. The second time of asking, third time of asking. This time it is Michenek and Schosten from the grid 2. Schosten in blue starts. Michenek is second, and third place is Bent Janssen. 3 swings to beat. Schosten leads. Michenek flying through our camera there on the third corner. The battle between Michenek and Schosten. Now Michenek doing the big run up on the inside of him. Schosten moves over, it's not going to hold him. And as Michenek, the Wembley specialist, goes through, picks his troubles up. Very, very cool. He leads heat number 4. Remember, we lost Olsen, and Schosten is down there in a shower of dust. Schosten goes down, he holds on to his iron horse, remounts. Well, plenty lot to talk about here at Wembley this year. Schosten is remounted. Michenek is in the lead. In second place, it is Bent Janssen as they go over the line for the last lap of this Wembley circuit. Here's Michenek, number 16. Lovely style, of course. An absentee from British League Speedway this year has opted out of riding with Reading. Doesn't seem to have got rusty, though. Michenek wins it. In second place, Janssen. And Soren Schosten just coming around the last corner, having fallen and remounted. So at last, we have a result of a very eventful and incident back heat 4. Coming to heat number 5 of the Intercontinental Final of the World Speedway Championship from sweltering Wembley here. And really, heat 5 has 4 riders with a great deal on their minds, because on the inside we've got Ollie Olsen from Denmark, of course, excluded from his first ride, no points so far. Next to him we've got Phil Crump. Phil Crump on 3 points, won his first race, sitting pretty at the moment. In grid 3, Doug Wire, who caused all kinds of problems in his first ride from England, he has 1 point, and Ivan Major, the 4 times world champion, on 1 point as well. So Olsen, Wire and Major, all 3 looking desperately for point. There's Ollie Olsen. no points from his first outing, so he really will have to put the record straight in Heat 5. Heat 5 then, with Ollie Olsen looking for points, excluded first time out on the inside. Next to him, Phil Crump with a win under his belt, 3 points. Then Doug Wire in white with 1 point. And on the outside, Ivan Major in the yellow and black striped helmet. He has 1 point as well after 1 start. Heat 5 with an awful lot of scope, and Major made a colossal start from the outside. So did Olsen from the inside. The two old campaigners really jet propelled starting. Olsen leads in second place Major. Wire is third. Crump's at the back. Dougie Wire from Sheffield, and it looks like Major is going by. Olsen's in trouble. Olsen's bike seems to be in a lot of trouble. Olsen almost stopped dead. He is stopping that terrible luck. He's impeded Crump. Ollie Olsen, the reigning world champion, in dire trouble at Wembley. He was excluded first time out. He has got engine trouble second time out. He has no points, and remember, he must finish in the top 8 to go forward to the world final. But hey, it's all happening at Wembley. Major, Ivan Major, the galloping Major, goes on his unconcerned way, taking advantage of a very fortuitous stroke of fortune there. Major leads it. Second place is Wire. Third place is Crump. Really, it's drama piling up, race after race here at Wembley. They go over the line. 3 very valuable points for Ivan Major. 2 for Doug Wire from Sheffield and England, 1 for Crump, none for Olsen. Right, let's have a very close look at heat number 7, because there are lots of interesting aspects in this race. And Simmons indeed has some pretty tough opposition here, because Peter Collins on the inside hasn't got a point yet and must get points here to keep that world final place in view. Collins on the inside. Next to him, Bent Janssen from Sweden on 2. Then Simmons in grid 3 on 3 points, and Sanders from Australia on the outside with 2. Well, it's the inside and outside grids that have scored so far, and away they go this time. It's Collins. It's a getaway on the inside. Collins leads in second place at Simmons, and third place is Janssen. At the back it's Sanders. The cross of St George in front. Collins leads it. Simmons is second. Ben Janssen is right up his back wheel there in third place. Sanders are at the back. Seems to miss the jump there. Look at Peter Collins go. Trying to look over his inside shoulder and sees that the rest of the field are a long, long way back. Making amends. Simmons cannot afford to dilly-dally on the way though, because he's got Banger Janssen right on his tail. The battle really is for second and third places here, and Sanders isn't out of contention at the back either. There you can see as Collins goes splashing through our frame on the pit corner. Malcolm Simmons though is now stretching away. You can see the gap he's opened up on Ben Janssen. Now Sanders hopping and bopping about at the back, trying to find some extra grip on this last lap, and Simmons is in trouble. Another sensation. Simmons' bike has given up the ghost, and that lets Janssen in, and now Sanders is going round and right on the line, and Sanders gets second place. Well, really and truly, it cannot possibly go on. The drama unfolds like something out of an ITV epic. There's Peter Collins. He won that one by a street. Simmons seemed to have second place absolutely in his pocket. His bike gave up on the last lap, and young Billy Sanders from Ipswich just grabbed his opportunity and came storming round the last corner around the outside of Janssen to get an oh-so-vital 2 points that may well take him into the world final. Barry Briggs, that's going to be well worth looking at again.
At this point of the race, it looked a very cool race for Peter Collins. Malcolm Simmons sitting for second place, number 7. But as they move out of the corner, you can see Simmons. He starts to have motor trouble now. He's pulling up. The 2 riders behind him are very lucky to miss him. Saunders just coming in the picture now, just misses him, squeezes past, and there's Simo out, and everything's happening tonight. But Simo at least got 3 points under his belt for 2 rides.
Well, that's the sight of Wembley that these riders get as they walk out onto the track, and what a track of drama it's been here for this Intercontinental 76 final. Heat number 8 coming to the line now with 2 previous race winners. There's one of them there in the yellow and black helmet, number 16. That's Anders Michanek, of course, the 1974 world title winner by a long, long way. One of the easiest winners in the whole history of this blue ribband event in Speedway. It's been going since 1936. Michanek, one of the elite few ever to have won the title. Of course, Barry Briggs sitting on my right-hand side, who has won it 4 times. So Michanek on the outside, that's just him going into grid 4. On the inside, it's Bernt Persson from Sweden. Of course, he's no mug around here. Went into a runoff here in 1972. for the world title. Pearson on the inside. Next to him, Chris Morton of England on 2 points. Bolger on Australia, 3 points. Michanek on 3 points. So Michanek, Bolger, Morton, all looking for a world final place, and Bernd Pearson by no means out of the running. Let's watch the start of Heat 8. It's oh so important. The outside grids have looked very sharp. Let's see what Michanek and Bolger, the 2 race winners, make of them in heat number 8. Yes, indeed. It's Michanek and Bolger, and Morton was left in grid 2. Michanek leads. Morton comes tigering around the outside of Pearson. There they go into the pit corner, and it's Michanek. Second place Bolger, third place Morton, and at the back, Bernie Pearson. Well, these outside grids are like grease lightning here, and the battle now really developing as Bernd Pearson and Morton close up on Michanek, and we have a speedway race on our hands. Here comes Bolger around the inside, and outside rather. Michanek holds middle course, an old campaigner around Wembley. Second place in the world final, and Bolger's gone round him as sweet as a nut. No, he hasn't. Well, Michanek plans to drive on the inside from somewhere or other, and Morton is now right up the exhaust pipe of John Bolger as they come on to the last lap of heat 8, and this is tremendous speedway. Round the outside again goes Bolger. Michanek moves across. Bolger switches inside. They're ducking and diving, weaving, and now Morton's coming on the inside of Bolger, and he does it right on the line. And where on earth did Morton come from? What a superb piece of speedway. Chris Morton seemed to be all over the place on the last lap, but he came through on the last corner underneath John Bolger, who seemed to be on the outside of Michanek. Barry Briggs, we are getting some very, very special speedway here, are we not?
Some great speedway tonight, Dave. Really good.
Well, that's the situation at the top after 2 rides there. We have got clearly in the lead Anders Michanek from Sweden. That's a bit of a surprise on 6 points, unbeaten. Then on 4 points, a tremendous great crash. Phil Crump, Billy Sanders, Ivan Major, Scott Autry, Chris Morton, John Bolger, and of course the notable omission, Ollie Olsen, reigning world champion. No score yet.